G'day everybody there at FTX. Apologies for the radio silence last week. It's actually been a bit crook. I went up to the Gold Coast for a couple of days to see some old friends, and while I was up there I was knackered, but came back and I've since had a bit of a cold. Just a cold. So I'll be bringing more out this week for you guys to catch up on what I wasn't able to bring last week. And I want to start it off by just getting a good understanding for whereabouts we are in the markets right now, covering more or less the top 10 that I've been covering for a long time, just to have a little look at where we're at. And we're going to start with Bitcoin right here. Of course, we have been consolidating for a little while, and if you saw the video a couple of weeks back, I have spoken of the fact that we might actually sit in a consolidation for a little while, and I see this actually as a really positive thing. Positive because for markets to move, they need to have some breathing room, some space to build themselves up. As markets move through a big run like what we have seen, it's fine and dandy, but we need those pullbacks, we need those consolidations to bring that, to create that supply once again. Of course, $20,000 is a round number. It's a big number, and we've been close. We haven't broken it. For Bitcoin to go through its next phase of growth, I personally believe, obviously, we need to get above 20,000. But it's not just getting above it that's important. It's how we get above it and where we go to from there. For me, this consolidation is a build-up of pressure for the time being, unless it goes ahead and falls further. But it's a good thing to see, and we're seeing it around pretty good levels at the moment. That's on the daily. On the weekly, as we can see here, the moving averages are starting to catch up. So I talk of this cradle zone frequently. Of course, back here, we've seen moves from there. We haven't pulled back in properly yet, and we may actually see that occur yet. I don't know. If we were to see the daily consolidation break and it start to roll off into a daily downtrend, then that could be the catalyst for a larger pullback, say to 15, 16, something like that. But for the time being, given what I've got in the charts, which is all that I've got, I'm just reading the charts, it's looking like we are in a consolidation. The options from here are either to break up through this high or to break down realistically through this low would kind of unsteady the apple cart, so to speak. In the meantime, I'll be looking for trades if we do come out of this range to go long, and if we do start to set some lower highs and lower lows in those mid time frames, like going down to the 4, that's where I'll start to look for my short trades as well. So it's a little bit up in the air right now, and if you look at this 4 hour, you can see exactly that. It's been a little bit wonky, a little bit messy. Since that sell-off, we did have a really nice run back, and since then it has got a little bit helter-skelter. Although it is in an uptrend, higher low, higher high, it certainly isn't an uptrend that I consider to be tradable. On from Bitcoin to Ethereum, and it's no surprises really that Ethereum's holding very, very similar to Bitcoin. Of course, many of the major market caps do tend to sort of follow in a very similar vein at times. And at the moment, again, a consolidation going on here with Ethereum. One thing to note with Ethereum as well is that we are extended from those moving averages. Just again, we moved higher, pulled back, moved higher, pulled back, consolidated, then that last push higher. We could very well see a pullback in, or as I said, same with Bitcoin. If we are to get up through these highs, we've got the potential for far greater moves to the upside. If I come back down now and have a quick look at the lower time frames, the 4 hour, really uninspiring, absolutely uninspiring. XRP for the moment as well, it is consolidating. It has had a couple of good days, but again, it's just because it's highly volatile at the moment. Having a look at this weekly, you will note that it is actually extended from those moving averages. Of course, after such an enormous move, it comes as no surprise to see XRP outside of those moving averages. XRP being the first of the, altcoin top 10s that have had that super parabolic rise. I believe about 173% from that entry point from back here that I got. Something like that to the highs. There you go, nearly 200%. So it's let off a bit of steam coming back into here, and it's just holding and consolidating once again on those mid time frames. Not a great deal there, unless, of course, I can see a push up through those levels. And consolidations are also an option if you know how to trade the Bitcoin breakout strategy. So through here, a little bit of resistance. I'd want to see cyclicity come good, and I want to see a lot more from XRP before I truly dived in and was looking for trades there. Bitcoin Cash, a very messy, ugly looking chart, it has to be said. If you have a look right here, look, we're back down testing on that old resistance level. Look, we were banging around and then we have come out of it a couple of times, but we've just really struggled, Bitcoin Cash, to continue on with that momentum. I thought we might have seen it here, but it crashed straight back down inside, and now it's just a wee bit of a mess. The weekly not giving too much sign of anything else here either, aside from a higher low and a higher high. A bit out of control for me at the moment is Bitcoin Cash. Litecoin also, it's been bouncing around a little bit. Bullish candle broken to the high yesterday. Not much to speak of there as well on Litecoin. Also on that 4 hour in a bit of a range. The weekly we can see the uptrend could certainly pull back as all of these look like. The 4 hour needs to break above this high here, 85.28. That would then set a higher low and a higher high, and that would be much more in the realms of possibility for me. EOS back at the daily. Having a look at EOS, very messy in here. It has still gained over the last little period, but it's not the strongest of looking markets, is it? Big rejection candles, big red ones. Not really the cyclicity that we've seen across some other markets like Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin. It is quite choppy, and it has been for quite some time. On the 4 hour, again, we'll look in here. A higher low is present. It could be present. If we were to break up through here, that would then confirm this being a higher low. Of course, if it breaks down through the low here, this would then become a lower high. So again, it's I don't know land, and I don't like to trade unless I've got that strong confirmed trend. So I'm still waiting for that to occur. Bitcoin SV, it is the ugly duckling, still within that range, back inside of that range, I should say. Look at the weekly, it's a bit of a mess. There is no interest there for me at all. Even Binance, you look at this on the weekly, look at that big wild candle. Binance has been consolidating now for several weeks. Now, could that mean that Binance is the next one to have a pop? Maybe, maybe not. It's not a theory that I'm putting my money into at this stage. I'm waiting to see what the trend does. And as we can see, once again, the trend is very lackluster. Cardano did have a very strong move. These are very large ranging candles through here. It's back in that cradle zone, but for me, it's got to break above these levels and get that momentum back. Now, this will be witnessed on the 4 hour as well, where we will see the potential for a higher low here if we can break up through here. Right now, cyclicity really just not great, and it's a good time to be just waiting and keeping an eye on things. Not to say don't trade, but just be cautious that the direction is not right there as clear as what it has been in the past. Again, a higher low and a higher high. The weekly looks strong, and a pullback could be on the cards. We'll have to wait and see. Rounding out that top 10, I'm going to go to Chainlink here, and as you can see on that daily, very sideways again. I had hoped, and we did get this bullish candle here in a very nice run, but of course it did wreck that trend, didn't it? With this being a higher low and a higher high, we went to a lower low. And because of that, it's wrecked the weekly a little bit as well. Not so much as the daily's been wrecked, but the weekly, it's just a bit of a mess. Once again, Link was a parabolic move earlier in the year, of course, with these whopper candles. It's pulled back into that cradle zone, and now it's coming away. It's just doing it with some big ranging candles and not the sort of chart structure that I'm interested in. We come back down now to the 4. We do have a higher low and a higher high, but once again, that trend is not as evident and clean as I'd like to have it. Guys, if you haven't got your FTX account, you get 10% off your trading fees by clicking on the link, the description below. You can also go ahead and get into the free trading course that we've got available for a limited time only by going to tradercobb.com. If you want to know how to raise your orders, well, there's examples there in that description for longs and shorts as well. Have a great day, and as my health continues to improve, I shall be bringing you more of this. Take care, guys. Bye for now.
The Trader Cobb Crypto Show, talking business in blockchain.